Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well. I've got so much to catch you up on. Last time we spoke, I was back in the USA for the first time since the start of the year. It was nice seeing family, catching up with friends, and getting that hometown feeling again. But as amazing as it was to be back, I knew it was time to pick up where I left off, so I made my way back to Colombia. I've spent the last couple of months going deeper into life here in Colombia, figuring out if this is the place I want to be in South America. And trust me, it's been an adventure. I've been getting back into my routine of working, staying active, exploring the city, and meeting new people. It's been a great way to reconnect with this place and see what life is like beyond the tourist spots. Today's vlog is all about where I've been the last couple of months and what's been happening since that trip back to my hometown. Let's dive into what life has been like these past 2 months and what's coming next. Since getting back to Colombia, I've focused on rebuilding my routine. After traveling so much this summer, it's been a process of finding balance again. Work, exercise, and exploration, each one is important, but finding the right mix has definitely taken a little time. After months of being constantly on the go, there's a lot of value in slowing down and getting into a good routine. One thing I've realized in the time I've spent here is how different life in South America is compared to Asia, or even places like America. When I think about life in Asia, especially after spending so much time in places like China and Thailand, there's a sharp contrast. In Asia, everything can feel so fast-paced. Everything is always in motion, constantly changing. But here in Colombia, I feel like the pace is much slower. Most days, I'll hit the gym or go for a walk, which helps me clear my mind and stay grounded. After that, I'll head out to the mall, try new clubs and restaurants, or just get lost in the city. I took a trip to Cartagena for the first time, and honestly, the vibe of the city is unlike anything else I've experienced. You step into Cartagena and it feels like you're walking back in time. The walled city is incredible. The architecture is colorful and charming. Everything feels timeless. I spent a lot of time wandering through the cobblestone streets, taking in the history around me. There's something about the contrast between the colonial buildings and the modern life happening right outside. Cartagena has this old world charm, but it's also a city that's alive with energy, music, and life. I also got to meet up with some friends from my hometown who were visiting at the same time. It was such a great experience to reconnect with them, sharing that moment together, exploring the city, and just enjoying the local culture. It made the trip even more memorable. I also headed to Bogotá, the capital. I had heard a lot about the city, but nothing really prepares you for the altitude and the dramatic views. The first thing I did was climb to the highest point of the city. The city is already located at a pretty high altitude, but getting up to that peak, it was a whole other level. The altitude and views were breathtaking. You could see the entire city spread out beneath you, with the mountains framing everything in the distance. The air was thinner, but it felt so refreshing to be up there, taking in the beauty of the city from above. One of the highlights of Bogotá was visiting the Museum of Gold. The exhibits are incredible. Hundreds of gold pieces, each with its own story. The museum gives you such a dive into Colombia's history and the role gold has played in the culture here. After the museum, I spent a lot of time just walking around. The city has such a different vibe compared. I love just soaking in the atmosphere, walking the streets, and people watching. You can really feel the rhythm of the city when you just stop and pay attention to the little details. So let's talk about something new. I've started here in Colombia, boxing. Since a kid, I've always watched boxing, but it's something I never really dove into until now. Part of it is just wanting to challenge myself in new ways, and I need an excuse to continue to rehab my Achilles. It's been an adjustment, no doubt. Getting that bounce back in my foot and trusting that it will perform is a challenge, but I really need it to fight effectively. I'm pushing through it because I know this is just part of the process. As for my first impressions of boxing, honestly, it's been so much fun. It's not the first time I've been punched in the face. There's something about the strategy, the ring control, and the focus on hand control that really clicks with me. I love reacting to each movement, how to position myself, how to outsmart my opponent with angles, and how to stay one step ahead. There's this chess-like element to it that makes every sparring session interesting and challenging. Man, what can I say? It's also been tough. My stamina is nowhere near where it needs to be. I'm not in competitive shape yet, so even after just a few rounds, I'm exhausted out. I'm learning how to conserve energy, how to use my Thai boxing clinch skills to my advantage, and how to pace myself for longer rounds. I'm 100% sure I'm going to fight amateur in 2025. It's still a bit of a long road ahead, but getting into shape is how I'm building toward that. Every training session, every drop of sweat, it's all a step closer to making that goal a reality. I'm excited to see how far I can push myself in the coming year, and I'll be sure to bring you along for the journey. Now let me tell you about one of the biggest highlights of the past 2 months. Feid's final show of his world tour. Feid is my favorite Colombian artist, so when I heard his final show was here in his hometown, I knew I had to be there. It did not disappoint. It was everything I could have hoped for, and then some. Medellín is a world-famous capital of Latin music and has this magnetic vibe. But when you pack a venue full of people all there for one artist, it's a whole different level. Feid has this amazing ability to connect with his fans, and you could really feel that connection in the air. The crowd was buzzing with excitement the whole time, and the anticipation was off the charts as the night went on. Feid's performance was next level. You could tell this was the culmination of everything he's been working for, and we were right there with him, celebrating every single song. But let's talk about the real showstoppers, the guest appearances. Feid brought out some huge names, and the crowd absolutely lost it. Balvin took the stage. These two have an incredible chemistry. There's something about seeing two top artists like that together. It's pure magic. Then it just kept getting better. Out came Karol G and the crowd erupted. When she joined Feid to perform, the energy was insane. But that's not all. Maluma was also there performing hit songs with this fellow Colombian artist. As if that wasn't enough, Bad Bunny also made a surprise appearance, and when he showed up, we all went crazy. His energy and stage presence are unmatched, and seeing him with Feid was one of those moments you'll never forget. Watching all these Latin superstars together in one place was honestly overwhelming. This concert was the highlight of my past couple of months in Medellín. Feid's final show of the tour was a celebration of everything he's achieved and everything Medellín represents in the world of Latin music. And being there surrounded by fans who feel just as connected to him and his music as I do was something I'll never forget. As the year comes to a close, I've been reflecting on everything that's happened, from Scotland to the USA, Colombia, Thailand, Malaysia, and China. Each place has shaped me in its own way, and I'm so grateful for everything I've learned. The highs, the challenges, the moments of pure joy and discovery. Coming back to Colombia and rebuilding my routine here has really given me a sense of grounding as we wrap up 2024, but I'm also looking forward to what's coming next. On January 1st, I'm kicking off the year with some exciting new travels, and I can't wait to hit the road. I'm planning to dive deeper into South America. There's so much more to explore here, and I'm eager to discover new corners of this incredible continent. After South America, I'll be heading back to Asia. I've made so many connections in that part of the world, and there's still so much to experience. I can't wait to reconnect with the people and places I've already been with and explore new destinations that are calling my name. It's crazy to think about how much I've packed into just 1 year, but honestly, I'm even more excited about what's to come. 2025 is going to be another year of growth, adventure, and of course, a lot of travel. I'm ready for whatever's next, and I'm so glad to have you all along for the ride. I want to take a moment to thank all of you for supporting me. Your support means a lot to me, and I'm excited to get back into the mix and bring you even more content. Stay tuned because I've got some exciting things lined up. From exploring more South America to returning to Asia and diving into new experiences, there's a lot in store. I'll be taking you with me every step of the way, and I'm looking forward to reconnecting and sharing those moments with you. So, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed and following along. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks again for all your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's make 2025 unforgettable.